Hi everyone, this is Intuitive Edge. Welcome once again to my channel. Thanks for joining me. It's time to take a look at our week ahead. So when I was doing my prep work for this week ahead video, I did spend some time in meditation and I did hear a few things that I think we might be seeing this week. The word that came to me over and over was preparation, preparing the way, something that is we're being prepared for something or we need to be prepared. The other thing I heard was or saw was something possibly about an explosion. I don't think this is where like local, it could be international news, perhaps something with an embassy. It could be wrong on that, but don't quote me on that quite. But I saw something about an explosion, something about an embassy, and I don't know if they're related or if they're two separate incidents that happen. Like something about an embassy is going on, something about an explosion happens. I don't know. And it's hard when I get things, it felt like it was kind of out a ways, so I don't know if that was like far away from where I am physically or if it was out in time a little bit past this week. So it may not be something that goes down this week is a possibility because it felt a little bit far to me. So just trying to judge if that is distance or time. Okay. And I also felt the Arizona audit will be front and center this week also. So those are just some of the highlights. Okay, let's get into the cards. The first card out we have for this week is on the political. I've got the Devil card coming out. To me, that signifies that there's something nefarious going on. And it feels a little backhanded or a little behind the scenes of something underneath that's being done. And doesn't feel real good. So, I'm going to pull the rest of the cards here and see what else we have going on to see what story we have with this. Okay, next is societal. Now, the thing I get with this, we've got the Eight of Pentacles. Now, this is a card of working, having a goal in mind, being focused, and I feel like with that Devil going on kind of behind the scenes, and it's like society is a little bit oblivious to what's happening. This doesn't feel good. I wonder what this is about, because it feels like the people are not, nobody know, it's like we're not being informed. People are, maybe they're just not paying attention to what's going on. So we need to be paying attention this week because there's something that's happening behind the scenes in the realms of politics that probably affects us all. And it's sometimes too easy to just go about our day, go about our lives and not pay attention. And I think this is a week where we need to be paying attention to what's happening. In the financial markets, we have the reverse King of Cups. So I'm kind of wondering if the financial markets might start to be feeling a little bit of pressure, perhaps. I wonder what that signifies. There's something about keeping things going despite circumstances in the financial markets. I wonder if they're trying to keep something afloat, perhaps. Look for that. Maybe a company, stock, or something, trying to keep things artificially inflated. So what we need to know this week goes along with kind of that Devil card is we have the reverse King of Pentacles. When this card comes in reversed, it's one of the worst signs of corruption out there. And it's right underneath the Devil card. So I think there's some very corrupt things happening, and most people won't be paying attention to it, and that's unfortunate. I think the more light that is shed on nefarious dealings and things, the more light can be shined on things, the more it comes out of the shadows and then gets resolved into the light. So this is just a matter of bringing things into the light this week. Not letting that slide. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5. Behind the scenes, what we don't see happening. Again, now this time we have the Queen reversed. We had the King of Pentacles reversed. Now we have the Queen. So both of these influences together, there something going on probably in government that is trying to take the reins, take control, and doing things that are not above board. And so we need to really be paying attention this week. I just have to say that again. Now, what is coming into view? We've got a lot of chaos coming into view. Things that are confusing. A lot of things up in the air. It came in reversed. This is the 7 of Cups. It came in reversed. So things we're leaving behind this week. I have the 4 of Cups reversed. Now, generally I see that as a card of refusal or not wanting to see something or not wanting to participate, kind of withdraw. And I'm wondering, when it's reversed, it's kind of like amplifies that, like apathy. And this is on the position of, in this spread, of what are we leaving behind. And I'm wondering if that sense of apathy or not caring about what's really happening is actually what's going to be leaving. So people are going to maybe care a little bit more about what's going on in the world, or maybe in their local world, care a little bit more about what's happening in the political realm, which this week would be a good idea because there's some seedy stuff going on. But this card of reversed 4 of Cups is right under that society card that I had originally. And so I think eventually society is going to kind of release some of that apathy and begin to care a little bit more about what's happening in the world around them that affects them. Okay. Last on the outcome for the week, I've got the reversed Empress. She came in upside down. She's a card of nurture and care. And when she's reversed, it's like you're not taking time out to care enough. Something about not caring about what's happening. Again, I think there's that kind of flow going up the side of this spread, and I'll show the cards to you at the end of this video. But on this side, it all has to do with care, because when you've got your blinders on, you're just self-focused and not really caring about what's happening around you, then when things do start to happen, then it feels like you're unprepared and things can feel overwhelming, which is this card here. And then it all goes back to self-preservation and nurture and trying to care once again. So there's a push and pull kind of thing going on this week with some of the powers that be, I think, are trying to manipulate things. Be watching the audit this week. I think that's really key. I think we need to be watching the audit. There's something going on, and it may catch us off guard if we're not paying attention. So underneath this week, I've got the 9 of Swords. This card came in upside down. It's a card of grief, sadness, loss, and apathy. And it came in upside down, which could indicate those things kind of getting a little bit lighter. Some people take the reversal that way. For me, when I see this card upside down, it does tend to bring a little bit of a release of anxiety. But again, anxiety and grief is still present this week. Okay, so for this next segment, I want to take a look at 3 more cards. I want to just do a past, present, future on this week and what I see coming. Now, for this part, I am just going to tell you what I'm seeing in the cards. And it may or may not make sense in terms of like a sequence of events or a logical A follows B follows C. I'm just going to talk through what I'm seeing in the card. So I'm just going to leave this open-ended for now. If it makes sense, great. But I'm sensing something. I just want to talk through the cards, okay? So I pulled 3 more cards for this week. Just kind of a past, present, future to see what we've got going. Now, we had the Devil card come out again. And this is on the past. And it came in reversed. Sometimes that can mean a breaking up of this sense of bondage or apathy or control. On the middle card, the present, I've got this card came in reverse. This is the 10 of Pentacles. And I felt this is related to something regarding the financial markets, home, stability. And I feel like there's a system change coming with regard to the financial markets. People have been talking about this for a while, and I think this is on the horizon. Now, this card coming out on the future, we had the Hierophant, the High Priest. Now, as I was looking into this card and just kind of feeling the energy of it, I got a sense of trying to take authority over things he has little power over. That's what was coming to me. Setting yourself up as an authority over others, okay? And as I was writing down some notes, I wrote the word authority, and the first few letters of that word authority is author. And I was asking, who authored this authority, this putting yourself up above others, putting yourself as dominion over others, having authority over others? Who gave you that authority? And I was drawn to, there's a little dot, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a small dot on his chest. And it was like, a little dot like, I appointed myself. Well, authority is not something you appoint over as you have authority over others. That has to be given to you by others. There's something called consent, okay? And this doesn't feel like this has consent. This is like self-appointed authority over others, trying to appoint himself. And I heard the words, bigger than he looks. It's like trying to look important, look like you have authority, to give the impression that you are in charge or in control, when in fact you don't have the authority to put yourself in authority over others. And I just heard the word setting himself up as authority over others. So I don't know if I know they're talking about, there's 2 types of financial resets that are wanting to come through. And there's a real push and pull. One feels of the dark, one is of the light. One is complete domination, control over others. Vaccine passport, whatever. It's all about controlling the narrative, controlling who gets to speak, who gets silenced. It's all about ostracizing, control. The other is about release of control, giving power back to the individual, giving power back to the autonomous individual as a representative of God and the creative forces in earth, manifesting divine consciousness in the earth. And there's this dominion thing, and it's so funny well, it's not funny, but interesting, I'll say, that company is called Dominion, because there's something about wanting to take dominion, and it feels like it's not authorized, it's not authored. There is no taking dominion. Dominion is given. Dominion is given by God. You don't take dominion over others. That upsets the balance of karma, of natural law. There are laws in place in the universe that don't allow others to just take. Okay, if you just take dominion over something that you're not authorized by the creative forces of the universe, God, what have you, then that is inviting a karmic reset and a karmic rebalance. And I sense that there's an effort underway, and we may see for a short time a manifestation of self-appointed author. I think we may see for a time a self-appointed authority that is not authorized by the creative forces, trying to assert itself in the human condition and trying to take control over the creative forces, over God's creation, by sheer force, and not working with the forces of nature to work in harmony and in balance with the creative forces, which requires no force at all. And I'm sorry, I know I'm talking kind of out there a little bit. I hope you're following me. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to bring this concept down to earth, so I'm kind of talking a little bit out there. So if you're with me, great, hang in there. But that's what I sense is trying to assert itself, and I think that has to do with that negative aspect that I saw of the Devil card in the previous card spread, and the reversed King of Pentacles, which is sheer corruption. This is really an epic battle of dark versus light this week. And a lot of it's behind the scenes, but it's going to start to come out. We have to start to understand what is at stake and to unplug from the matrix, so to speak, and understand what's happening. That the things that are in play, the propaganda that we're being subjected to on the news and others, is trying to get us to submit to a false authority. And this week, I think that false authority is going to come out and try to assert its dominance more openly. So in some ways that's good, because for those that have been ignoring it or been asleep, you may not be able to really ignore it much longer. And with that, going back to the previous spread, with that Eight of Pentacles that I saw, that was just like oblivious to the corruption going on. I don't think that's going to be able to last. Now, all of this, what I'm talking about here, may not completely unveil this week, okay? Sometimes my week ahead videos, they spill into weeks ahead a little bit. It's hard to nail down time exactly, but the influences, I think, are accurate for this week. That we have a nefarious influence that is trying to assert itself into the creative forces of God and take away, this is what it thinks, take away authority, dominion from God and take it for itself. Self-appointed authority, which it doesn't have. And I don't think in the end God will allow it. Okay, if that makes sense. So, okay, I think I've said a lot here. We may be seeing some more of this playing out this week. Just unplug, I guess. I'm just hearing like, just see what is happening and begin to just not play along. That's where humanity has to get. We have to not be so self-absorbed and self-focused that we're not seeing what's happening until it's too late. Okay. So unplug, see what's going on, pay attention, and I think a lot, I'm just going to say something else here. I feel I need to say this. I think a lot of times people feel like they can't speak up or can't speak out because what's the point? They're only one person, they're only one voice. They don't have any power to do anything. Okay? That's where we need to change our mindset. That's where we need to change our mindset. We have creative ability to affect our surroundings and to join. It's not us, it's not individual humans, but we identify ourselves in our human condition and we see what we are capable of. And I'm just one person, and all these other people are doing things and I don't have any control over what they do. Okay. But what we need to understand is it's not about the individual human. It's about joining your individual consciousness with the creative forces and having the universal creative forces join in with you when you go to create something. Human beings, yes, we are one individual person, each of us, but how many people down through history have changed the world? When it came down to it, one person was enough to change the course of history. In all of the historical events, oftentimes it was one person that changed history, for good or bad. So understand that, yes, you are one person, but don't feel, if I could give advice here, like you are insignificant or like you have no power. It is learning to join and ask the creative forces to join with you to create God's will on earth. Okay? Not my will, but thine be done. God's will on earth. Because what is happening around us is a spiritual battle. It's not people against people. This is a spiritual battle that we're in, that we're witnessing. Cosmic forces wrestling for control over the human race. And there's lots that could go into that. I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of that here. There's plenty of people that have written about that, understand that. So I just want to bring this back to say I think we're seeing the beginnings of a cosmic tug of war. Now, ultimately, the evil forces will not win out. The forces of light and good are far too powerful. It's not equal bad, equal good fighting it out to see who wins. It's the evil trying to take what it can. And as we join ourselves with the creative forces, there's far more angels on the side of creation and creative good that are willing and ready to come to our help, to our defense, to our assistance when we ask for their help and align ourselves with the creative forces to bring in the good. Okay. I'm going to leave that here. I've said a lot. Thank you for sticking with me. This was a little bit of trying to pull in some extra and trying to make it make sense. And I thought, I'm not going to try to make it make sense. I'm just going to say it and do with it what you will. And hopefully you got something out of it. Okay. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me this week. And we will catch you in the next week ahead video. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.